Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining another Lead Squared webinar. I'm your host Shibani Roy. I'm the one who sends you all those emails. So thank you so much for joining the webinar today. So what we'll be talking about is influencer marketing, the art of influencer marketing and best practices for optimal ROI. So some of the things that we'll be covering, our guest speaker rather, who'll be covering, and I'll get to explaining who he is in a bit. So some of the things that we'll be covering are why influencer marketing is important for brands looking to grow, how brands can succeed with influencer marketing, key strategies and platforms you must know, and the best practices for optimal ROI. So our speaker today is Raja Manoharan from Dot Com Infoway. So he has over 10 years of hands-on internet and mobile marketing experience. He's known for his innovative, enthusiastic, and results-oriented marketing approach. He's also worked closely with over 500 international customers and helped them execute their mobile marketing projects very successfully. So thank you so much, Raja, for joining the session today. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and take the session forward.
Thanks a lot for the wonderful introduction, Shibani. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. And in the pleasant evening, I think most of you have just completed your lunch and came back for this webinar. I would like to thank you all for joining us here. I'm Raja, Vice President of Marketing here at Dot Com Infoway. I handle all the marketing operations here in Dot Com Infoway, along with both inbound, outbound, and mobile marketing initiatives. So as Shibani was telling, I was into this industry for the past 10 years and worked extensively across different verticals of marketing. So right now, I think we are going to discuss about the influential marketing, which is a hot topic in the internet marketing field for the past couple of years. So the main thing which we are going to discuss here is how to optimize the campaigns for the ROI. So ROI is the most important part of any marketing campaign. So we are going to go deep into that and see how the companies can make use of influential marketing and then use the best practices for the optimum ROI. So without any further delay, let's go ahead with the session here. So it's a couple of words about our company. DCA is IT company who provides mobile and web solutions, including development and marketing activities for both mobile and web solutions. So we are headquartered in Chennai, and we have our other initiatives as well. So I think Shibani has provided me a better introduction than this in her introduction. So I'll just move on straight to the presentation now. So influencer marketing. So this has been the hot and buzz topic in the past few years. And to give you a quick definition of what it is about, it's an influencer marketing campaign is designed to tap into an existing community of engaged followers on social media. So you don't need to build your own following community. You can leverage the following base of the influencers who are available in the social media. So influencers are specialists in their niche. You could see an influencer who talks about travel. You could see influencer who talk about fitness, influencer who talks about food habits. So these are the individuals who have influence over an audience you might be trying to reach. And through this influence, they can convince their followers to becoming your buyers. So they have a larger fan following with higher engagement rate. So it's a way of reaching the your target audience through a different channel. So influencer marketing has opened up an opportunity as a new channel for marketing online. So that is a small difference, very small difference between the branded approach from the advertising which you send to your customers, and then through the influencer marketing. So branded marketing is about like interruptions to the users, and also it fights for the attention. There are a lot of advertisements going across, and it fights for the attention of the users. While the opposite of it, when we talk about the influencer marketing, it's very subtle and non-intrusive. It doesn't distract the users. and it comes from the part of community, and that they have subscribed to get information from, they have followed, they have liked the page, and they have been like requesting information from that particular influencer, and it becomes a part of what they are doing. It becomes a part of their news feed, it becomes a part of the videos that they have subscribed for. So it's a part of what they are doing, and it doesn't interrupt what they are doing. So it's a very much interactive information that they receive from the influencer. So, and when we say why this has been effective, why the influencer marketing is effective. So influencer marketing leverages the user generated content. So that's more important. It's about user generated content. It's not the content which the companies generate and push it across the web. It's user generated content. So Nielsen claims about 92% of the people trust recommendations from individuals. So that's how the reviews and ratings work in the internet. So that's where people go for recommendations. And the influencer marketing builds trust with the target audience, and influencers are seen as an unbiased and authoritative source when it comes to product recommendations. So customers are tired of paid ads. Generally, you see a lot of ads popping in through the channels which you browse in, but when you feel influencer marketing, it comes through the feeds that you subscribe for. And 47% of online customers used ad block technology. So that's the biggest challenge coming into the digital advertising industry. And also Google launched a new version of Chrome browser with inbuilt ad blocker to block the advertisements. So you see Chrome browser has a biggest market share, and when they come up with something else, all the other browsers could be following them, and you feel the need for an innovative ways to reach your customers other than the digital advertising. So, and also influencer marketing is very social in nature, and we can reach the very specific target audience group. For example, we could find out influencer who talks only about travel, and we could reach our target customers with a specific persona, and we'll be able to bring more awareness about their product through that particular group. So moving on to the next one. So this is these are the best practices for measurement of the ROI in any influencer marketing campaign. So an effective influencer marketing campaign can produce a sizable return on investment. So according to recent Thomason research, an average of $6.5 revenue is generated from every dollar invested in influencer marketing campaign. So that's a very good ROI comparing to the other channels. And the ROI is highly dependent on the goals you have set up for the campaign. Example, it could be an email sign up, it could be a purchase. It depends on the goals that we have set up for the campaigns. It's very important to define the goals of the influencer marketing campaign first. As influencer marketing evolves, the standard KPIs that the brands are going to use is not going to work anymore, and a revised ROI for the campaigns have actually emerged. So these are something which we need to do upfront. So setting measurable goals, that's more important. Without any defined values, your influencer marketing campaign is going to be of vain. And some examples are which I have listed below in this slide. So it could be increase in the product sales, it could be increase in your email subscribers or followers in your social media, or improvement in the engagements in your social channels, or it's about brand reach particularly. So you need to set your SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time specific. For example, I need to set an influencer marketing campaign which I have to measure the goal within a month's period, a 2 months period. If a buying cycle is larger than the other industry, we can say it's going to be and 2 months period or 3 months period. So you need to set up as a very time specific. You can go irrelevant, and it should be very specific and measurable. And as you know, call to action is more important while you are defining your campaign. It should stand out in your content creation. It could be either video, it could be an image, it could be an textual content, a review, anything, but it should have a call to action based approach. So if you're providing a free coupon or a discount to the influencer, and it should be the call to action is going to be directly asking the brand to engage and checking out the brand. So CTA should be valuable, relevant, and it should help in the successful conversion of your lead to buyers. So then the important part is how to find the right influencer. How do you find them? So they are all over the internet, and you need to find out how you could get into them. So first part is about social listening. Listen where your target customers are, which channels they have subscribed to. So you need to build a persona based approach for this. So you need to build out, okay, these are the psychographic behavior of my users. These are the places that they go. Example, businesses in fashion go towards Instagram. People are very much interested in fashion technology or they're in Instagram. So you could reach them in Instagram, and for example, videos are mainly posted in YouTube. So which communities we need to go, which media sites we need to go, and it's all based on the target customers which we are looking at. And then we can use a lot of tools. I would be listing the tools list in the end of this presentation. And also I wanted to tell you that I would be happy to take up the questions at the end of the session. If you have any questions, just post it in the question section, and I'll follow up with the answers once we are done with this presentation. So moving on to the next step. So there are two type of influencers. So one is micro influencers, and others are macro influencers. Micro influencers are semi-celebrities who are like having a larger fan following. It could be a common man who has been creating a lot of interesting content in the social media and has a good fan following. And macro influencers are celebrities who have a wider range of following. It could be millions, and Amitabh Ji, or you would say Rajnikant, and people like that. So we have all these celebrities who have a wider fan following. So what are the difference between micro and macro influencers? So micro influencers, they have good reach. Macro influencers in the sense like the top celebrities have good reach. You could get instant results. You need to see, like for example, there are few factors which you need to consider. If you are going to do an in-house based campaigns, it should be like ideal would be micro influencers. If you're going for an agency, then the macro influencers. You have that affordable budget, it's going to be macro influencers. So you could get instant results and granular results. If it's about affordability and professionalism, it's about reach against the engagement of your campaign. So it all depends on what kind of budget you have and what kind of influencers which you are going to plan and reach during these campaigns. So for example, if you see in my screen, it is going to be the macro influencer. Lady Gaga posted about Airbnb here in her Instagram, and you could see the kind of engagement that she got for this post. It's more than 500k likes and a lot more comments here in her post. And we move on to an macro influencer. This is an example of a brand reaching out to the macro influencer who is about talking about the travel, and you could see the number of likes which this post has got, but the kind of engagement which the post is getting in the forms of comments and things like that. So it's up to us to decide which kind of influencers to reach. It's based on the budget. And talking about the budget, it depends on again the test campaigns. Ideal budget which I would recommend is that like a minimum of 3 lakh rupees, where you will be able to reach out to the influencer, which includes the your agency fees, or something like your coupons which you are distributing. So kind of a budget which I would recommend is to start with a test budget of 3 lakhs, track your ROI from there, and then proceeding from there. And these are certain questions which we could certainly ask before choosing an influencer. So what they are doing to make their content interesting for the audience and for you. So who are the top influencers by that particular channel? If you're going for YouTube, you see by subscribers, you see by the video views, and if you're going by Instagram, you could see by likes and comments for their posts. And you need to see who has most engaged community or followers. You could see the pages or the influencers with a large number of likes, but you will see they seldom interact with their customers. They don't comment for the post. They don't go ahead and interact with them. So how interacted the comment, like how many comments that you get, how many shares you get, how many retweets that you get. So it depends on how engaged community that they have. How large is their audience? You do not need to look at only for a particular channel. You could see across channels. If it's Twitter, if it's Instagram, if it's Facebook, if it's YouTube, you should consolidate all the numbers and find out, figure out where the audience are coming from. And you need to check how active they are in different social media platforms. If you see a large fan following and they haven't tweeted for a long, if you have a large subscriber base, they haven't posted a video in the recent past, it's not going to help you, because there has to be frequent interaction in the channels. And how relevant are they in your industry? That's most important question to ask. Like a foodie blogger can be helpful for advertising, for promoting the restaurant business, or maybe any food product that you manufacture. So it's about relevancy of the target audience that you're going to reach, and what is the tone of their voice. So it could be either very funny tone that they use, very professional tone they use, how they are, which you would prefer to go for it, and how the industry is responding to them. So that's most important, the kind of response they get from the industry people. So now let's see how what are the factors that you need to use to calculate the campaign cost. The first is the labor cost, then the influencers cost, what is involved. For example, if it could be a free stay in your hotel, if sending out a free gift of the product, or if they are going for a paid post. So all these costs has to be included in the budget, and also your team member's salary, content or video creation cost. For example, if you are saying them endorsing your brand and things like that, they tried it, any video creation or content creation cost should be included. Any tools or advertising which you could use to amplify the content reach, so that's more important. And as I mentioned, the demo or free product cost has to be included into the part of your spending before you go ahead and creating the budget for the campaign. And what can be measured in your campaign and how you need to measure it. So we take all these bits and pieces and put it together, and let's see what we could measure. So now you are putting it in front of a larger audience, so you need to get the metrics for the measurement, and you need to try to tap the influencer who has more followers. You need to ignore the influencer does not engage with the target audience. So the level is insignificant. So you need to ignore if the influencer promotes just their own contents. So if you are trying to tap more number of influencers, more number of followers, then this is what you have to do. And then selecting the channel is crucial. The fashion industry should select YouTube or influencer for influencers rather than going for a Twitter influencer. Tech industry, again, it's very much relevant with Twitter or LinkedIn influencer over a Facebook influencer, because Facebook is more personal, and tech people have more influence in Twitter or LinkedIn field. So now, how to measure the engagement? So engagement can be measured in different ways, which includes likes, comments, shares. So more number of shares, more best. So that's the order of priority: shares, comments, and likes. An influencer who engages more frequently with their followers should be the right choice compared to when comparing to an influencer who has millions of followers but doesn't engage them with them at all. So micro-influencer would be a right choice for a lot of industries and verticals because it's cost-wise it's less, and you could reach a particular niche of users. So, and again comes to the sentiment of your campaign. You need to use the data that is collected from the engagement. So that's more important. The number of comments, number of shares coming in from, number of likes, and all these has to be measured. And you know, determine which posts attract more responses among the influencers followers, whether it's a funny post, whether it's a video, whether it's an image. So whichever post, yeah, either a GIF image, so whichever is influential among the target audience, you need to work on the content accordingly. And through a numerical value, if though a numerical value is not being derived, we can find out the best type of content to use in the future campaigns for the best results from your campaigns. So then comes the most important part where the marketees try to like stick to it. So here it comes, the conversion. So the conversion is not just a part of product purchase or service acquisition. Conversion differs as your goal differs. For example, if you feel $150 worth product purchase or $2000 worth the tool sign up conversion, so this could be a conversion. This is part of a conversion of your campaign. And likewise, you can say, okay, I need 200 valid email subscriptions, and then I need like 100 targeted followers for my social media and following. So that's also a valid conversion. So in a second case, you need to assign a particular value for the cost for every email sign up. For example, if you are assigning 1,000 email subscribers to come in as an end of during the campaign, and you say, okay, for example, acquiring an email subscriber costs you like $10 from different channels, and you need to assign that particular value to your conversion. So whether it's financially worth of the additional emails that you obtain or an additional follower that you acquired. So that's how the ROI is measured. And then comes the few other measurable items. So the traffic to specific landing pages, the brand mention, form submission, growth in followers. So all these can be few measurable items. So increased sales, again, it's a very dependable factor. Again, it depends on the length of your sales cycle. It could be the sales cycle would start, could be completed in 1 day, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So it has to be considered while you are measuring this information. But it's the most easiest and form of measurement. And the purchase cycle could be considered while you are campaign, even when your campaign gets over in a month, and you could get a sale in maybe 3 months of particular time. And the specific calculation here is sales per item into extra number of items which has been purchased minus cost for your influencer marketing campaign. So that's how it is measured. And the other ways of measuring the conversions. So here is something which is listed. So correlative data, we're comparing the data, past data with the current data, and using trackable link, using affiliated links, using conversion pixels in your landing page, so that for every conversion you are getting tracked systematically. And usage of specific promo codes. If you are running a specific campaign with an targeted influencer, you can give him as promo code with his name or any relevant information which can be used for purchases. You'll be able to track them, and then creating a new hashtags for your campaign so that you can measure the reach of the campaign, and you can even run an isolated marketing campaign to see the impact of that particular campaign alone. You can use Instagram shopping as well as part of measuring the conversions for your campaign. As I mentioned earlier, so these are some of the tools that we use for our influential marketing campaigns: Brand Baker, Cloud, Refluence, Basumo, Follower Walk, and Blog Mint. So all these tools provide you with insights on what kind of influencers they are, how frequently they update their content, and then the influencer score, the reach of them, kind of. So they provide us with some insights before you go ahead and select the influencers. There are certain tools where they provide a platform where you could interact with the influencers through their platform. You could negotiate with them. You could send information through them. All of them are available for a fixed cost, where a fixed cost, monthly cost, where you will be able to send across information to the users. So we are coming to the wrap of this session, and so this is a summary of what we have discussed earlier. So every business has expenses. So that's the influencer marketing campaigns, any influencer marketing campaign. So you need to get your budget ready, and then you need to set the goals and decide the ROIs based on the budget. You don't have to obsessed with the numbers always comes when the campaign ends. For example, as I said, there could be sales which are happening even after the campaign period. It's dependent on the sales cycle of your company, and again there is also time delay on the purchases. So you don't have to hesitate to experiment. Experimentation is the most important part of any campaigns that has been coming in. And then comes the micro influencers are most important. There are a lot of brands nowadays which who go ahead at the micro influencers. I need to choose the medium wisely. So that's most important thing which is part of your campaign. Since if you go choose a wrong channel to promote the influencer, and the end of the campaign you may not get the results which you have expected. And you need to be very much sure that you adapt to whatever happens. So when the start of the campaign you get a different content and you feel if it's not working out, you need to come up with a different set of campaign. And then the most important part, as a part of all the campaigns, you listen to your audience and then find out whether this is working out or not working out, and then we could go ahead. And so I'm wrapping up the session with this, and I would like to take up the questions from you guys, and which I would be happy to answer now.
Thank you so much, Raja. You can also look at the question tab. So in
Yeah.
the meantime, the rest of you, while you put in your questions, I'm gonna take up Srinivas's question. So Raja, Srinivas says, can we give our content or USP of our services to influencers and ask them to promote or retweet on behalf of us?
Yeah, that's highly dependent on the campaign objective which you have worked out. And for example, companies generally what they do is that, for example, we have been working for promoting an mobile game. What we do is that we send out the information about the game to the influencers, ask them to play the game, and then post about post a video of them playing the game and how addictive it is. So it's kind of a co-creation of the content. So that works well. Instead of retweeting the company's tweet, official pages tweet, it creates more sense of authenticity when the content is created through the influencer himself. So that part of it, we always prefer to go with a content which is created by the influencers.
All right, keeping up with content. So Manoj says, what are some of the important factors to develop influencing content?
So it's always a part of content strategy which we follow, and which we engage our customers.
Raja, you'll have to just start over, please. Just the answer to this question. We just lost you there for a few seconds.
Oh, sorry, Shivani. So sorry, guys. So I'm just going ahead with that again. So as a part of content marketing, in respective of influencer, or is this going to be content marketing for your website, we always recommend our customers to go with an content which is useful for your customers. If you're going, you feel if it's a travel related industry, you could generally create content which is going to be useful, travel tips for your customers, and how you can plan your holiday ahead, and things like that. So when you create such content, it always helps to helps your customers to relate that with your brand. What we would generally ask the companies to do is that to create engaging content. add a bit of humor to it. So funny content actually always sells.
Okay, I'm gonna note that point down as well.
Yeah.
All right. So Rishi's question, and I think it's targeted more towards the work your company does, Raja. So he says, do you have any case study on education sector with micro influencer?
So with micro influencers, no, we have worked with macro influencers in education sector. Micro influencers, we have worked with a lot of mobile games that worked out well, and also FMGC products that worked out really well with micro influencers. Education sector, we don't have a specific case study with micro influencer, but we have done some good influencer campaigns.
Okay, and just Raja, why don't you just move to the slide where you might have your contact details there. So if anyone in the audience wants to get in touch with you, they can. Yeah, that one. Okay, so moving on to Ankit's question, he says, can we hire influencers for Amazon reviews?
Uh, we would generally don't recommend doing something against the policies of companies who you have been in relationship with. For example, you don't have to hire influencer to write Google Play Store reviews or Apple App Store reviews or Amazon reviews, which are actually not recommended by the companies themselves. So Apple generally tends to ban mobile applications who feel that you are incentivizing the users to post a review. So same applies to Amazon reviews. It actually puts your listing under stake, and we generally don't recommend it.
Okay, right. So Anurag says, hello Raja. I want to know to what extent can we execute influencer marketing in the event industry space? Is there a non-monetary way of executing the campaigns?
Exactly. We have worked with a few events in working on the influencer marketing. So we didn't do it in a monetary way, but we did it in a form of coupons. We provided, we discussed with the event organizers and created discount coupons, even it's 100% discounts, 50% discounts, 20% discounts. We engaged the influencers within the communities. For example, there was a tech event which was held, and in that tech event, we wanted to reach out to the Android developers community. We reached out to the influencers there. We provided them with free coupons for the, like for example, for one campaign, we provided 5 free coupons, and then we provided like 20, 50% discount coupons. So that way, we were able to get influencers even without paying them money, and they distributed the coupon codes among their group, and they were able to drive us the number of registrations which we were targeting at through those communities. So that's how we wanted to like get it through the specific to events. So events we could always offer discounts, and that discounts is kind of bait for this kind of campaigns.
Right. Okay. Okay. So Neha has, okay, so she has about 3 questions. So I'm just going to start with the first one. So she says,
Yeah.
why should we not always rely on numbers, as numbers only give you insights about the performance of any campaign? Like for email, number of opens and click matters a lot.
Right. So as I said, yeah, please go ahead, Shivani.
Yeah, so she has another follow-up question. She says also when we do any social media campaigns, the number of likes, shares, and comments define the performance of the campaign or post.
Right. So I was telling that don't rely only on numbers, because there are certain other elements which we need to measure about the campaigns, including the brand's reach and the kind of positiveness that the campaigns create across your target customers. So these are some things, the sentiments which cannot be put across as a number. We do have certain tools which could give a numerical value for that, but again it is all through the machine learning things, and you will not be able to get the exact value that has been created by that particular post or things like that. You should rely on numbers, but not only the numbers. So that's what I was trying to say.
Okay. Moving on to, okay, so Neha, she has another question. She says, do you think subscription pharmacies can do better with influencer campaigns?
So I wanted a bit of more information about like what the subscription pharmacy industry is. It something related to online subscriptions, or is it some offline businesses? Neha, if you could answer that, and that would be helpful for me.
Yes, Neha. So I'm just going to move on to the next. Just let us know exactly what that is, and then we'll take up yours. Okay, moving on to Rishi's question. So he says, how can we find out such micro influencers in our local cities?
Yeah, so I was referring to certain tools in during my the other slide. So there are a lot of tools which would be able to which you will be able to search by particular cities. You will be able to filter out the influencers by city, the number of target audience, their kind of engagement, the scores. So those tools will be able to enable you to find out the exact influences that you're looking at. And also the normal Twitter search, you can use advanced search operators in Twitter and figure out the influences in your region. So that's also very much possible. But these tools enables you to do it better and in a faster way.
Okay, moving on to Ankit, and please forgive me because I'm not familiar with this tool, so I'm probably going to mispronounce it. So he says, how good is Thomason to use? Is that how you pronounce it? Tomoson.
Right. So we have used it for certain of our customer projects. Uh, I think it was useful for that particular campaign, but we haven't been so much familiar with that tool. So it was used only for one customer campaign, even if it was insisted by the customer, and we felt that was useful to track all the influencer and also the results of the campaign. So it was we had very limited experience in using that tool. So I wasn't in a situation. I'm not in a situation to like exactly comment you on that because that was one time use.
Okay. Manoj, here goes your question. Is there any impact on influencer marketing with new GDPR law?
No, because it's a kind of like if at all you are reaching out to influencers through with their consent by Twitter messages or Twitter channels by disclosing you are going to do this, you are not into trouble. But while sending out emails, it is going to be dangerous. You have to abide this rules which have been laid out by GDPR. So that part of it you should be very careful with. For example, sending out Twitter messages as mentions, asking for their consent, it's okay, but not sending out direct bulk mails to the influencers.
Okay. So Neha has come back with her response. So she says subscription pharmacies means the online medicine delivery for prescription-based medicines to chronic patients like diabetes, asthma, hypertension, etc. Online, basically. Online medicine delivery.
Oh, got it. So yeah, so there are these kind of online industries are going to be really benefited by influencer marketing. For example, we could reach out to the healthcare related influencers and ask them to like post co-created content. As I was saying, it could be a co-created video that they are talking about the healthcare segments and how they were able to get the medicines quickly through using your services, and you can create images which they could post which carries your logo there and some information about healthcare and how you could solve a problem of getting the medicines delivered in their doorsteps and things like that. So that is very much possible. I hope this
All
answers your question.
Yeah, Neha, let us know. Moving on to Bharat's question, he says, can companies providing credit related products benefit from influencer marketing?
Yes, they can actually. Like as I said, there is a huge opportunity of creating content for all those industries. For example, how to do credit check for yourself and things like that. You could create a good tool, a small tool which could help your customers to check their credit ratings and things like that. So you could ask your the influencers to mention about that particular tool in their post or in their videos or things like that. So it's all about the how you plan your content, which could be used to reach your target audience.
Okay. Anurag, here's your question. He says, can you please suggest the best influencer marketing tool for engagement?
For engagement, again, if you're asking about the tools which is going to help you finding out influencer, or is it about a platform which could get you more engagement? It depends again, like which kind of campaigns that you want to run with, or like for example, you're going to run campaigns in YouTube, or if you're going to run influencer marketing in Instagram. It depends on which channel are you going to use and which industry are you into, B2B or B2C, or if you are going to go with an paid campaign, or you're going to give away products, and it all constitutes to choose the best tool for you.
Okay, Anurag,
Sorry.
I hope that answers your question. Sorry, were you going to add something, Raja?
Yeah, I was telling with the kind of information which I have now, I would not be able to like provide you the best suggestion. Sorry for that. If you could reach me in my email, I could send you some more information.
Anurag, please do reach out to him via email if you want more, more examples of that. Okay, Deva, here's your question. So he says, Raja, what's your biggest piece of advice for someone looking to work on influencer marketing?
Most important advice which we give to all of our customers is that take a lot of time planning for your activities instead of going bombarding in all the channels. You take your time to spend a lot of time in creating your campaign, like planning for your campaign. That's the most important thing which we recommend all the people who are looking into this influencer marketing seriously to do. We need to plan for it, like before going to reach a influencer, as I was mentioning in my presentation, the planning should take at least 30% of your time for your marketing campaign. So that's one part of it which we recommend all our customers.
All right, Amit, here goes your question. How to search influencer for service industry like mobile app development service?
For mobile app development services, as a part of our company, being mobile app marketing company, we feel Twitter is going to be the most important channel, and LinkedIn. So for certain influencer campaigns, what we do is that we select influencers who are talking about mobile app development, and people who have been talking about mobile apps in general, and uh, people who are having a lot of entrepreneurs and budding entrepreneurs following them, and people who talk about technology. So these kind of people which we like sort out and form a group as a part of this particular campaign. So for mobile app industry, we would recommend Twitter as the most effective channel, and creating a group of people who are influencing the entrepreneurs, kind of people who talk about technology, talking about mobile ecosystem and things like that. So those are the influencer we feel we should target for these kind of campaigns.
Okay, Amit says cool. Earlier, Neha said thank you so much. Okay, Oindrila, here goes your question. How can we get influencers to participate in Twitter chats? Any tool to find relevant influencers or to promote the Twitter chat?
There are a lot of things which we could do with Twitter chat. Twitter chat, we generally recommend creating a hashtag for your campaign and track the campaign from there. And other than that, there are a lot of social listening tools which you could use during your campaign to analyze the sentiments and sentiments of your campaign. If you could reach out to me, I could share with you some lists of such tools which we could use for specific campaigns.
I'd like to actually add to that answer also. Indrila, I don't know if you are aware of Ruku Social, which happens on Twitter. In fact, every Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, I was in fact a speaker. I don't know, person who was tweeting answers as a speaker once. So you can check them out. Just it's called hashtag Ruku Social, and I'm forwarding that message to you also. Check them out. They do this on a very regular basis, so you might wanna get some tips from them. Okay, I don't see any more questions right now. I'm gonna give it a few more seconds for people to ask questions. Please do ask. And if we don't see them coming in, then we just assume that you understood everything and Raja's done a great job and we're gonna end the session, okay? So a few more minutes. Until then, Raja, if you have any specific examples, maybe if you could share of one time where influence marketing really worked, any specific campaign you worked on which is very interesting or would be interesting for all of us to listen to, please share that. While we wait for some more questions to come, we'll just wait for about few more minutes, like about 2 3 more minutes.
Sure, Shivani. So there was, for example, I would say we worked on an influential marketing for a mobile application, which actually helps the user to take a picture of their business card and then share it, add the information to their contacts. So the application uses the OCR technology to scan all the information and putting it across their contact information. So that particular campaign, we were running it in the US market, and we reached out to the influencers who attend a lot of conferences, speakers who attend a lot of conferences, and we targeted them, and we were providing a free trial of that particular product to them, and they were using it, they were tweeting about it, they were for example, when they are going for a conferences, they were using that application and they saying this was quite useful, and we generated about like 35 tweets from the influencers during the campaign. It was on 2016. It was quite a bit of success, and we were able to increase the sales by around 200% within that particular duration. Uh, I was not allowed to share the name by the customer because we approached them to ask to add them as a part of our case studies, but they didn't agree. They wanted to keep it confidential. So that was one thing which I came into my mind at the moment. I think that's it from me, Shivani. If we get more questions, I'll be happy to answer it through email or through a quick chat in Twitter. You guys could follow our social channels, and we at times organize a Twitter chat or we respond to the questions there immediately.
Okay, so we have one more question. This is the last question for the day. And anyone else, if you have any questions, Raja's contact details are on your screen. It's raja@dci.in. Please reach out to him via email, or of course, you can reach out to him on Twitter as well. So, Deva, here's your question, and this is the final question for the day. He says, is influencer marketing really appropriate for every online business? Your thoughts?
I would say it's not really appropriate for all the businesses. If you have a marketing budget specific, as I said, you need to invest a minimum of like $5,000 for a test budget. Smaller businesses can reach out to the influencers, not in an organized way, but reaching out through content creation. Create content which is worth to share. If at all you don't have much budget to spend in influencer marketing, content, as they say, is always king of internet marketing. So smaller businesses, we would always recommend to go with content marketing, and for larger businesses and brands, influencer marketing is going to be key for the next their success.
Thank you so much, Raja. If you have any closing lines, please do share them.
Yes, Shivani, it was really great to interact with such an audience. I have done a few webinars and I seldom get questions, and it's really great to get questions from the audience. And thanks all of you for participating in this webinar and sharing your questions with us. And I hope this could change the way you look at the influencer marketing. And it's not something which is a rocket science and hard to understand. It is should be part of everyone's marketing strategy in the coming days. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a great day ahead.
Thank you so much. Have a great week. Bye bye.